Hi, Katie. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being our instructor of the month at Inner Revolution Yoga Studio for April.
Thank you.
So what are you celebrating in your life right now?
So right now I'm celebrating travel. I'm going on a big trip coming up next week, and I'm super excited for it. I'm going to China and the Philippines, and so I'm definitely celebrating that. I'm very grateful for that experience coming up. Feeling very fortunate. And then I'm also celebrating my family. We're spending a lot of time together recently, and just the dynamic is stronger than ever. So I'm loving that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say is your biggest challenge on your yoga journey currently?
It's definitely been figuring out what my body can and can't do, and being okay with that. For sure, finding some peace and learning to love your body no matter what its I wouldn't say weaknesses, but definitely the obstacles that you may have to face when you're looking at typical yoga body types or typical postures that some people can reach and maybe sometimes you can't. So.
And there really is, no typical posture. It's really what you feel ease and peace in, right? And that's
Absolutely.
kind of the goal, to get to those postures where we are in it for what our body can do and feel peace and ease in that space. And that's a great challenge. I think a lot of people also have that same challenge on their path. What would you say your biggest success on your yoga path is currently?
My biggest success is definitely the philosophy of yoga. So taking what we learn on the mat, off the mat, learning to be a little bit more understanding with yourself is a big one. Just your patience levels, you're quick to reaction. It's definitely resonating with me through and through. So it's definitely changed the way that I just go about my daily life. So that's a big one for me.
That's great. Yeah, yoga is so much more than the physical postures, and to be able to take some of that philosophy off mat and into your present day living is really important. That's great, Katie. What book are you reading right now?
Right now I'm reading the Ayurveda, The Divine Science of Life. So yeah, I'm getting into a lot of the Ayurveda. I find it really interesting. I definitely resonate with, the doshas and the imbalanced doshas and learning how to nurture those doshas. It's really very interesting.
And for those of those watching and listening that don't know what Ayurveda is, can you just give a little definition?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a natural science. So you're going basically with your constitution, which means what you're in line with, what your tendencies are, your natural tendencies from birth. So for me, example, I'm predominant Pitta, so I have a lot of fire energy. I'm very, clean and neat, and things need to be orderly, and that's sort of what I go back to. And it's learning to balance that out, to find the other doshas, basically so you're not always in your mind, you're not always racing around trying to get everything perfect. You're okay with it being imperfect. So this can be through food, for sure, keeping a healthy, balanced diet. And this doesn't mean, maybe your typical healthy things. Sometimes for myself, exactly, like I can't really go towards spicy food.
And no lemon water.
No lemon water. No lemon water, yeah, because I'm already acidic, and it just creates fire within my body. So it just irritates, especially my skin. So that is a huge one for me. So yeah, it's really cool. It's very, very interesting, and for me, it's working 110%.
Yeah, and I think I follow Ayurveda as well, and I think it is such a wonderful science to live, because it doesn't just include food, but it has postures, and it has breathing, and it has,
for sure,
walking in nature, and all these things that help balance us out. So it is great. If you haven't heard of Ayurveda, definitely Google.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there a pose you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'm working on my extended side angle pose. Yeah, so I've been sort of like what I mentioned with learning limits to where my body is going to sort of go. With my hips, I find it really hard to open up.
Mm-hmm.
So in that posture, I find actually a lot of relief and a lot of release.
Mm.
So I'm really learning to sort of dive into that and let myself sort of feel what I'm feeling in those postures. And it's, going pretty well.
Fantastic. What's on your music playlist right now that you would recommend to others?
So it's called Lamplight by Jimmy LaVille. It is just a really nice, pretty mellow. It does have a little bit of, a little bit of upbeat to it.
Will we hear it in your class if
Yeah.
we come to your class?
Yeah,
Okay.
you probably will. Yeah, for sure. It's usually my Shavasana song or just before Shavasana song. Yeah.
Cool. We'll look for that. If you won the lottery, what would you do?
I would, first off, totally spread the wealth. My family, I would love to do a lot for them. That would be top on my list. And then travel for me. I mean, that is my biggest passion. And I would probably go back to school, actually. I'd probably just take a lot of classes in yoga. I would probably volunteer a lot.
Cool.
I would definitely travel around the world, though, for sure.
Well, we'll send you some lottery winning vibes.
Yeah.
So thanks, Katie. Katie is teaching at Inner Revolution on Mondays from 12 to 12:45 in Inner Flow. So come join Katie on her mat. Thanks so much, Katie.
Thank you.